welcome. This is great to have you guys here on the Road to Rock, the Boxmasters. This is just tremendous. You guys, I'll tell you, I'm in Kansas City. So, Bud, for you, man, you're a rabid St. Louis Cardinals fan. You guys are touring during the spring and summer. You're missing valuable Cardinals games with Albert Pujols back in the mix. How are you handling that?
Well, actually, we had direct TV on the bus, so so we got to watch the games, and so I think we were on stage during when Pujols hit the home run the other day, but we did see the replay.
That's awesome. Very cool that he's back there. Now, JD, you're from Kansas, right? So are you like a Chiefs Royals guy or what?
No, I grew up, my best friend at the time, he was all Kansas City. He was a Jayhawks fan, a Royals fan. And because of our rivalry, I had to hate every team that he liked. And so he liked the Royals. So when I was a kid, I was a Yankees fan. And just, in the late 70s, it was a perfect rivalry. We had, we were always in the playoffs against each other. And then in basketball, so, he was a KU fan, so I was a K-State fan. Plus then I went to K-State. So it was always, just had to root against whoever my buddy Looney was rooting.
That's called being a contrarian, and that's an important thing in sports. I mean, Billy Bob, I heard somewhere that you were an Indianapolis Colts fan. Now, come on, we're in Kansas City here. You guys are going to be playing at Knuckleheads June 10th. We got Patrick Mahomes. Things are rolling. 4 straight AFC Championship games. You had to have seen this Mahomes guy a little bit. Maybe want to convert over here.
Well, I became a Colts fan when I was a kid, when they were in Baltimore.
Yeah, interesting.
And so everybody where I grew up was a Dallas Cowboy fan. That was just, in Arkansas, everybody was a Cowboy fan. And Instacart's here. We had to order some. JD's got to get it. We just got up, just so you know. I look like a newborn puppy still. My eyes are all puffy. Anyway, so I really like the Colts because of, Johnny Unitas and all of them. And
makes sense.
And then when they moved to Indianapolis, I just remained a Colts fan. Then I love Peyton Manning. He's just one of the classiest dudes ever, a great quarterback, and that whole family, really. So, yeah, Colts fan. But boy, I tell you what, the Chiefs have got. They have so much talent on that team.
Right.
And Mahomes is a magician.
Yeah, no question. It still fell a little short this year. It's what happens. But guys, Bud, you guys are out here. You guys are kind of slugging through Texas right now. What better place to kind of start your guys' tour than in the Southwest? You guys kind of started in Oklahoma. I think you were just in Austin the other night. Did you guys play at Antone's? That's one of my favorite bars in Austin, man.
Yeah, we played Antone's.
Oh,
yeah, we've been playing there, a long time, over the years. And Antone's is actually in a different location now, but still same vibe, everything, And we sold it out and had an amazing time. And then we played 2 nights in Houston, or in Tomball, which is a suburb of Houston, where I used to live, actually. And they got a place there called Main Street Crossing, and it's a really cool place. People are great. So we started off in Heritage Hall in Ardmore, Oklahoma, which is a big theater there. And we always have, there are people in the area, that come out and see us that are super fans. And then both times that we played over at Heritage Hall, Randy Travis has come out to see us.
Wow.
His wife Mary, and we give them a place to sit on the side of the stage. And even though Randy's grew up in the country western world,
right,
he still loves to see our shows. And Burton Gilliam came out, a terrific actor and a great guy that I've known for 30 years. He's from the Dallas area, and he came out to see us there.
Oh, it's awesome. You guys are going to be here actually in Kansas City, June 10th at Knuckleheads. Not your first go around here at Knuckleheads. You guys might as well be the house band here. This is it's like your guys' place here, Knuckleheads. It's one of my favorite. It's 10 minutes from my house, so that should be an easy show for me to make. But can't wait to have you guys back here in KC here in a couple months.
Oh, absolutely. Well, that's where we left off last year.
Yeah.
Was there, and we just barely got it in before COVID shut us down. We played there a couple of days before we got shut down, and but Knuckleheads is actually our favorite place to play in the United States. I mean, it is our very favorite, and we know everybody there. You know, Frank, the promoter, is just the greatest, and it's and the audience. I mean, over the years, we've gotten to know the audience. You know, it's just terrific.
Yeah, exactly. We've got a lot of friends that come out, you know, and they kind of know what we're going to be doing. You know, they know it's like, okay, we'll be over by the bus, you know, kind of at this point, and you know, we'll go in there and have a heck of a show. And you know, it's one of those places where we don't have to, you know, like work to get the audience fired up for the show. You know, they're coming in the door ready to, you know, be a part of the show, and really the energy is there from the first chord. So, you know, that's great. Plus, you know, you can't beat knowing that, you know, you've got 1,000 people there. You know, it's one of those places where it's just always packed. Even last time it was going to rain, and it rained right at the end of the show. But, you know, that all those people were there with us from, you know, the start till the end. And, you know, we love playing Knuckleheads.
Oh, absolutely. Can't wait to have you guys back here again. That's June 10th. So you better get your tickets now, because that will be a sellout. So for you guys, not only, you know, you got this tour, but today's actually a big day, because you guys have a new album coming out today. It's actually
absolutely
official. So this thing, I think that what's great about the Boxmasters is, for me, is that every album has a different mood, has a different tenor to it. And it has, you know, something that you, even Bud's singing style seems to kind of change that. This is a positive, upbeat album, maybe even a little tongue in cheek with the title "Help, I'm Alive." Tremendous album so far. To me, this is the ultimate summer album that like kind of throws you back, you know, back to the days of even like, you know, some of the vocal harmonies, very Beach Boys to me. I think this is one of your guys' best works, but you guys knocked out 3 albums during the pandemic. Why was now kind of the time to unveil this particular one?
You know, it's funny. We don't usually, it's not that we haven't done it, we have, but we don't usually sit down and plan out the theme and the sound. They kind of the album tells us what it wants to be. And, you know, we will start with 2 or 3 songs. And then once we see what we're recording, it's like, oh, okay. But on the last album we worked on, which won't come out till, you know, later, maybe even a year from now, but we just finished the record before we hit the road. And I mean, literally days before we hit the road. And JD dropped the tapes off at the mastering lab, like the day we started rehearsals. The day before.
The last day of rehearsals.
The last day of rehearsals. The last day before we left. And so anyway, on that one, we recorded 25 or so songs.
Wow.
And then we just sat back and we listened to them and we go, okay, these are the 11 or 12 that fit together, you know, because we got our own studio now. And so we didn't have a clock to worry about. And we just said, we're going to make this album perfect. We're going to make it exactly what it needs to be. And if we recorded a song that we decided, you know what, it's in the wrong key and we don't like the tempo, we'll just start it over.
Yeah, exactly. That's the great thing of having our own place, is we don't have to worry about, you know, being perfect. We can do whatever we want, you know, without regards to a clock or, you know, a budget or anything like that. It's just a matter of waiting for the coffee to stop cooking. And
that's actually our drummer. He's staying in the house with us. That was him being.
But rock and roll is not supposed to be perfect, guys. You guys are fully live. You miss a note, you don't sound great, you don't fix it. There's been a lot of controversy about that lately, a lot of back and forth. So I mean, with the Boxmasters, you know, it's live. You guys come from a lot of old school influences where you just didn't go touch up things in a studio. You see what you get, right?
You do. If we always tell people, if we screw up, you'll hear it.
Not that that ever happens. I mean, it's a rarity, of course. But
honestly, we do pretty well live. I mean, we rehearse. We do good rehearsals before we leave. We always rehearse at least 5 days. This time it was 6, and we try to make sure before we leave that we're good. Now, the only time, usually, if any of us on stage forget something or make a mistake, it's usually because we had too much refreshments before the show. And that will happen every now and then. There may be a band member that just needed a little extra nerve tonic.
Speaking of band members, I know you guys have worked with Teddy Zigzag before. Is he out on tour with you guys right now? He did a tour with Alice Cooper, and I just thought he was a perfect fit. He's worked with everyone. Is he out with you guys right now?
Ted's not this year. We didn't bring keyboards this year. And this is the first tour we've done in maybe
ever. Yeah.
Wow.
Because we're really a guitar band.
Yeah.
And we used, JD played a lot of keyboards on the latest couple of records. Not fancy keyboards, just stuff that the songs needed. And it's not all just like piano and organ. We have a mellotron and stuff like that. And so, JD made a few spooky noises on that, But this time live, we thought, we're a guitar band anyway. The keyboards don't cut through in our band live that much. And we really decided we wanted a lighting guy. But just because of the expense, we didn't want to add even another person, and so without having keyboards, we were able to get a lighting guy. And the reason we got a lighting guy is because we play a lot of big theaters that have really great lighting systems, but the local lighting people, they don't know our show.
Right. They don't know the songs yet, or
Exactly. So this kid we got, Josh, he's younger people are experts at everything technical now, and so he's a nerd and he knows all about it. So anyway, so we got him out here instead, and I got to say the sound is just as full.
Oh, can't wait to see it for myself. So are there a song or two from the new album that you've kind of been unveiling that maybe you're really excited about, that have been going over really well? I would think like a song like Golden Hour would just play so well in a live setting, or just the title track, Help I'm Alive, or even If I Had Wings. Like, what are there songs that are you kind of switching some of them out, or how's it going?
Strike 3.
It's funny. The thing is when you get in rehearsals and you start going through songs, the ones that you listen to on the album, you go, oh wow, this will be a perfect live song. Sometimes they just fall flat with the live band.
Yeah.
I mean, they just don't translate, for whatever reason. And I think we tried Golden Hour, and I think we tried Help I'm Alive, and those songs just didn't work. So we're playing a song called You'll Never Be Mine, and it's from Help I'm Alive.
Yep.
We play it, and we play I Got a Girl, which we love. Those are two of our favorite songs on there anyway. So we play both of those. And is there another one, JD?
And just between you and us, Time is in the encore.
That's
sweet. Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, it's a great one to come back and launch into. So.
I mean, you guys have 12 releases now, right? I mean, did you ever find it that it would come a time in your careers that it would be hard to pick a set list, that you become this veteran act that has to pour through your albums and pick a set list from all the songs you've recorded together? I mean, that shows kind of the dynamic between you two, that this long lasting thing that's happened. I mean, that's a good thing, right? It's a good problem to have.
Well, and it does happen.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got so many songs, like you said, on so many albums that it's tough to get a set list together. And we're usually pretty aware, though, when we get it right. It's like we've had essentially the same set list for a few years, with each year changing a few songs out into that same set list. So we've got kind of like we've got the groundwork for a set list every year, and then we change things out accordingly. So yeah.
Do you guys ever fight over that, battle it out?
Nah.
No, I mean, here's the great thing, Spilly really, he's out there working the crowd. He knows what's going to work, and he can feel it, it's like, okay, how do I bring him in and how do I pump him up? And, so it's, he's got a great feel for what the audience is going to want, as the show goes along, and how to keep it moving and not hit a lull in it where, everybody goes to the bathroom. So, we start big. We, kind of not necessarily bring it down a little bit for the middle, but, we keep it up and then, finish strong. That's, the way you kind of want your set to go. So it's, it's taken work, and we, it's like we easily, some nights, we're approaching 2 hours, and it's like, oh,
awesome.
This is like, this is more than, we need to do here, and to, might be running out of gas a little bit, but still usually at, towards the end of the show, the energy's there. So, you just, coast through it and, feed off of it.
Yeah, they had a curfew last night up in Dallas where we played, and if they hadn't had a curfew, we'd probably still be playing.
What a journey it's been for you, Bud. I mean, cutting your teeth as a roadie. I mean, you picked up and moved to LA to pursue this acting career, which admirable enough. You've done okay at that, I guess. but what? I
wasn't even pursuing an actor. He was going out there to be a rapper and singer. So
yeah.
Well, did you feel that you as the roadie life, as this nomadic lifestyle, that like the just getting paid and Pabst Blue Ribbon and women wasn't quite enough? You had to take it to the next level. What was kind of that path like for you as you kind of moved away from that, headed to LA, and then to think that, you formed an international touring act by 2007? I mean, it took some time, took some, really slugging it out. You met the right person. Things, I guess, just work out in the end, right?
Yeah, it's true. It was, when I first went to LA to be in a band, it was just, first of all, the kind of music that was going on out there wasn't really my style. There were a lot of hair bands out there then, and that kind of thing. And I just found it hard. It was like, people were paying to play, you know what I mean? It's like, had to sell a certain number of tickets yourself. You, the band, had to sell them. And so the musicians that I met out there, they were broke like I was. And we just, and you couldn't get paid to play, because there's so much competition, so many young bands out there that you literally had to pay the venues to play there.
Was that like Sunset Strip, all up and down it, Whiskey and the Rainbow and all these places, Troubadour, yeah.
Or the Club Lingerie, all these different ones. And so one way or the other, I just ended up going to an acting class with a guy I knew, and one thing led to the next. It had nothing to do with anything I pursued.
Right.
But it, it worked out, and it gave me money to provide for my family and this kind of thing. And then music was a struggle for years and years. And then in the 90s, I started making demos again, started going back and forth to Nashville a lot. And but I didn't fit in Nashville either because I wasn't country. And then but eventually landed a couple of record deals for solo records that I did, and which was quite a struggle to get them. And then so eventually started touring with my solo band, and did that from 99 or so through 2005 or 6.
Yeah, right.
Right in there when JD and I met, and he and I met at the end of 2006 on one of my solo records that he was working on, and we formed the Boxmasters. So we're going on, 16 years.
16 years. And JD, for you, from the other side, from the engineering side, from the producing side, you've had so many credits to your name, from the Rolling Stones to Guy Clark and the Pussycat Dolls to Britney Spears, man, who, by the way, is pregnant. Congratulations, Britney.
Yeah.
I
wasn't even in town.
Yeah. It's
sometimes headlines just write themselves, man. Thank you. So, but what's it been like for you, JD, to kind of come onto this side, the live performing side? Do you it's got to be a rush unlike any other that you don't get from being in the studio and kind of the producing. So what's it like for you?
There's definitely no rush in the studio very often.
Right.
I mean, sometimes you write a song and you're like, this is great. Or, most of the time, with us, we're pretty excited about every song we write. Yeah, I mean, it's like looking back, I had started out as a performer, playing and singing groups and doing, I had a little band in college.
Yeah.
And, I just kind of thought, oh, well, I'll be an engineer because, I didn't really see myself as the front man of a band, but I also wasn't that very good of a player, as a guitar player. I'd never really concentrated on playing guitar. And so, once, I got hired to record some overdubs with Billy for a couple of weeks.
Right.
And it just happened that he asked me to play guitar on a song that, he needed. No one was there. I'm there, and I'd been plinking around on the guitar a little bit. And so he's like, hey, let's record this Lost Highway, a version of this so that we can do it for this Canadian TV show. And it just, I don't know, when we were doing it, I just remember, it's like, okay, put the acoustic guitar part down, and Billy put the drums down and sang it. And then I did a pretty simple bass part. And it's like, I remember going, could I try an electric guitar thing? And he's like, yeah, sure, have at it. And it was like, okay. And, did something. And it's like, had this real raw, kind of quality to it. And, it just, it gave Billy the idea like, hey, this is a sound, maybe we should explore this. And so we just did. He played me Chad and Jeremy's Yesterday's Gone. And, we did a version of that. And that was the start of the Boxmasters. That was the first thing we recorded. And, shoot, we've never stopped.
Well, is there something to be said for just being in bands with people that you like and get along with? We've seen the trials and tribulations of so many iconic bands worldwide that, you're around. 10 years is a miracle for so many bands. I mean, the Beatles made it right around that time. And here you guys are on 17 years. Is there something to be said for just being in a band with someone that you like, that you get along with? And that goes for all the musicians you guys work with. I'm sure there's got to be a camaraderie there.
Yeah, well, I didn't try to use my wife's family as our attorneys.
That's the difference. She's not singing backup on anything here, or
no, not a lick. Well, no, but one way or the other,
we put the kids on recordings at various times, but never the wives. The wives have never really had done anything in the studio for us. So
that's a next step, maybe. I mean,
but yeah, you're honestly, it's I don't think either of us have the patience if we didn't get along, and make music that we both really liked and that was inspiring to us. Meat, can you grab that?
I can't imagine what that is. I have so many questions.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll tell you, it's a beer. It's beer delivery.
Oh, so you DoorDash and beer delivery within 30 minutes, and you guys just got up, man. This is what am I doing with my
exactly. So but yeah, if we didn't have the patience or like what we did, then we would definitely not be together. And there's been people weaving in and out, and it's like sometimes. We're friends with all of them, but every once in a while there's somebody, and it's just like we have a certain thing and a certain vibe and certain influences that all go together. And if someone kind of doesn't have that same influences, kind of upbringing, and just willingness to gut it out, on a
sure.
somewhat uncomfortable level, we're
you guys are bumping up. Yeah, exactly.
It's like we're playing every single day, and if somebody's wants like a lot of comfort, like they need to sleep in a bed every day, or they have to have a shower every day, it's like they're if they if they have to have like a lot of creature comforts all the time, they're not going to fit with us.
In other words, we're the guys who run the band, and yet, well, JD runs the band. I'm kind of there, but in other words, if we are not prima donnas, then we certainly want anybody else to be. I mean, that's what it amounts to. So we have had people in the band over the years where it's like, well, why do we have to room with somebody? Can't I have my own room? It's like, well, JD and I room together, you know. It's like, as a matter of fact, JD and I have, like he said, we don't have a lot of patience with things sometimes, but we're probably more patient with each other than we are anybody else in the world. I mean, you know,
he seems pretty easy to get along with. JD's got a coffee in his hand. He's about to have a beer in his hand in the same sitting. So he seems pretty easy. What are you guys getting? Like, you guys do any Lone Star when you're in Texas?
Shiner Bock.
That works. That works. It gets the job done. Before I let you guys go, again, got to mention the album Help I'm Alive. It's out today, all digital platforms. Find it, get it. Highly recommend it. It is your.
Or come to the show and get the vinyl or the CD, and they're autographed.
That goes without saying. We're in Kansas City. They're coming to the show here. We're going to be sold out, you guys, and can't wait for that. Yeah, get a physical copy. You know, that's still a thing. That's amazing. I got to work this in. Billy Bob, we got a mutual buddy that wanted me to give you a shout out. It's Brad Leland. You were in Friday Night Lights with him. He said that you got him hooked on taking cayenne pepper in the morning. And he wanted to
That's right.
You guys had some iconic scenes. He was bullying you for the entire film, Friday Night Lights. So you owe him. I told him lives in Tyler. I was like, you guys go see Billy Bob when they're out in Texas.
He should. I love him.
We played 2 shows close to Tyler.
Yeah. I just told him last night. It's probably too late because I told him that you were over there. And he's actually narrating a documentary we're finishing up on SEC football documentary. So I was like, yes, Billy Bob and I do have a mutual connection in the film industry, and I'm taking that to my grave. Brad Leland, great guy, but he'll enjoy that. Guys, thanks so much for hopping on today. I know it was a early morning for the Boxmasters here. So you guys are awesome. The album is tremendous. I can't wait to see you here at Knuckleheads. Hope everybody will check it out. And of course, the website's theboxmasters.com. You can get all the information there. See you guys June 10th. Thanks so much.
You got it.
Thanks, bud.
You bet. Thanks.
Take care.